Welcome back to Reds Fusion LFC, your home for all the latest Liverpool buzz. Today we've got huge updates. Wirtz opens up on his form and Klopp's advice. Liverpool get a massive transfer boost for Marc Guehi. Van Dijk's big decision sparks debate. And Arne Slot makes a strong statement on the Reds' early season form. Stay tuned, you don't want to miss this. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated with every twist and turn in the transfer window. Liverpool are prepared to reward one of their standout players of the season so far with the offer of a lucrative new contract. 4 current Reds players were shortlisted for the men's Ballon d'Or, which was won by Paris Saint-Germain's Ousmane Dembélé on Monday night. Ryan Gravenberch wasn't among the quartet of Anfield nominees. But if he maintains his current form throughout the next 12 months and wins multiple major trophies with LFC, he'll surely be among the contenders to scoop the individual accolade in 2026. Liverpool ready to offer Gravenberch a new contract, according to Alex Crook for TalkSport on Tuesday. Liverpool are ready to offer the Dutch midfielder a new long-term deal. Even though his current contract still has nearly 3 years remaining, it's claimed that while there's no urgent need to secure his future, any prospective extension would be a reflection of his importance to the team. Gravenberch has become irreplaceable for Liverpool, although Ibrahima Konaté's contract situation is of far more pressing urgency to sporting director Richard Hughes. The Frenchman has just over 9 months left on his deal. No Reds fan would complain if the club were to extend Gravenberch's commitment to Anfield in the foreseeable future. The 23-year-old has been earning deserved widespread plaudits in the early weeks of the season, with Virgil van Dijk saying that his compatriot is in the form of his life, and journalist David Lynch describing him as irreplaceable for Arne Slot. Before the end of September, Liverpool's number 38 has already equaled his tally of goal contributions from the entire 22-24-25 campaign, with the midfielder taking full advantage of the added positional freedom afforded to him by his coach this term. When we see Gravenberch running the show in the middle of the park, it's crazy to think that he rarely even started in his first season at Anfield. His development over the past 18 months has been simply staggering, and as he approaches his mid-20s, he's likely to get even better in the coming years. There are currently 7 LFC players earning more than his $150,000 per week, according to Capology. A sizable increase on that figure would be a fair reward for his indisputable importance to Slot's team. Florian Wirtz makes blunt admission about Liverpool form, and Jurgen Klopp advice, don't want to hear. Florian Wirtz found himself on the bench for Liverpool's 2-1 win over Everton on Saturday. Florian Wirtz has shut down the suggestion that he needs time to adjust to life at Liverpool, as he responded to advice from Jurgen Klopp. The Reds started the summer with a statement of intent by securing the services of the sought-after German from Bayer Leverkusen in a package worth a then-British record, £100,000. Although he has helped Liverpool start the season perfectly, the attacker is yet to contribute a goal or an assist in the Premier League. Wirtz also found himself on the bench for Saturday's 2-1 Merseyside derby win over Everton on Saturday. Speaking recently, former Liverpool boss Klopp told supporters to give the Germany international time to adapt to life in the Premier League, as well as telling his fellow countrymen to stay cool. Read more. Mohamed Salah in the firing line as Neymar blasts joke. Ballon d'Or decision. But in response, Wirtz, speaking to Sky Germany, said, "Yes, of course I would have liked to have scored a goal or collected a few points. But no matter what anyone says, I'm staying cool. I know what I'm capable of, and I also know that I'll really bring it onto the pitch at some point, so I'm just staying cool." That's a good reminder. I don't want to hear it all the time, give him time, give him time. Instead, I just try to do better each time than before. And sometimes there are just phases where things might not go your way. I haven't had that very often in my career. Once I've got through it, that's perhaps harsh. Because I'm not playing badly, I just haven't got the scoring points yet. It will come at some point, and then everything will be fine. It's no secret that I'd like to have more so far, but I'm patient, and as I just said, I know full well that I can play good football. Sooner or later, I'm sure that things will return to normal. Liverpool handed Marc Guehi transfer boost after Carabao Cup rule change. The EFL have changed their rules on cup-tied players in the Carabao Cup, with Southampton set to take advantage against Liverpool. And it could also be a help for the Reds in the transfer market. Southampton could take advantage of a Carabao Cup rule change against Liverpool on Tuesday night. The Reds host the Saints in the third round of the competition, with Arne Slot already confirming he intends to make wholesale changes against the championship outfit. The Dutchman has already revealed that none of Mohamed Salah, Virgil van Dijk, Ibrahima Konate, Ryan Gravenberch, or Dominic Szoboszlai will be involved against Will Still's side. As a result, the likes of Giovanni Leone, Federico Chiesa, Wataru Endo, Joe Gomez, and Rio Ngumoha could all be handed opportunities against the Saints. Southampton come into the tie off the back of a 3-1 defeat to Hull City in their last outing, and under previous EFL rules, Still would have had to make at least one change to his starting 11 versus Liverpool. With Liverpool entering the competition at the third-round stage and Alexander Isak their only new arrival since the Carabao Cup got underway, they possess no players who would have been at risk of being cup-tied in the competition under the previous rules. However, following the change in regulations, it does mean that should the Reds reach at least the semi-finals for a third successive season, any January signings would be eligible to represent Liverpool in the latter stages of the competition, provided they had not featured for one of the other semi-finalists in the Final Four first leg. So, hypothetically, were the Reds to revisit interest in Marc Guehi in January, he could still be eligible to feature for Liverpool in the semi-finals and final following this rule change, despite already representing Crystal Palace in this season's competition. However, it is worth noting that while the Reds remain interested in the defender, at present, they are unlikely to move for Guehi in January, given the player will be available on a free at the end of the season. Virgil van Dijk decision questioned as Liverpool claim made. I don't get it. Liverpool defender Virgil van Dijk was celebrated for his success as the Reds captain during the Ballon d'Or ceremony in Paris, France on Monday, but his ranking for the award was questioned. Ali McCoist has defended Liverpool captain Virgil van Dijk and questioned whether the centre-back was overlooked in the Ballon d'Or rankings. Paris Saint-Germain's Ousmane Dembélé scooped the award ahead of Reds star Mohamed Salah, who missed on the top three as he finished fourth. The Dutchman was voted as the 28th best player for his performances last year as Liverpool won the Premier League at a canter, while they were knocked out of the Champions League in the round of 16 by eventual winners. PSG. Van Dijk was among the Liverpool contingent to make the trip to Paris for the star-studded event, but Salah was among those not attending despite his formidable campaign. Salah finished behind Dembélé, Lamine Yamal, and Vitinha, while Van Dijk charted inside the top 30 behind the likes of Harry Kane, Scott McTominay, Alexis Mac Allister, and Denzel Dumfries. Speaking on Tuesday morning to Talk Sport, McCoist was left confused by the low ranking for Van Dijk and questioned whether defenders are underappreciated compared to forwards, as he highlighted the stopper's impact in Liverpool's domestic triumph. Well, no. First of all, you're right to mention it, and I don't get it either, he said. One of the main reasons, I believe, it's easier to destroy than it is to create. That said, I honestly believe they do get an honorable mention in this award. I think Cannavaro might be the only one I can remember winning it. What I will say, Maldini, Baresi, Jurgen Kohler, just brilliant. Brilliant defenders, and we all acknowledge their brilliance. But we naturally look to the other end. What I'm saying is, Virgil van Dijk won't get the plaudits for his work, which is just as important to Liverpool as Mohamed Salah does for his work, which is equally important. With the greatest respect, we naturally enjoy seeing a brilliant pass, goal, or creativity than a tackle. Alisson Becker also missed on the Yakin Trophy Award as Manchester City shot-stopper Gianluigi Donnarumma scooped the award after his success with PSG last season. Arne Slot makes not an excuse admission over Liverpool's early season form. Liverpool have won all 7 of their games so far this season, but manager Arne Slot insists there is still room for improvement despite their perfect start, despite a flawless start to the season. Liverpool manager Arne Slot acknowledges there's still room for improvement. He admits that the demanding fixture schedule means his squad won't always be at their peak performance. Their most recent triumph was in the Merseyside derby, where the Reds clinched a 2-1 victory over Everton at Anfield. This came hot on the heels of a last-minute winner against Atletico Madrid in their opening Champions League match. Slot's team have consistently delivered late goals, netting in the final moments against teams like Bournemouth, Newcastle, and Burnley. The Dutch coach remains impressed with his team's resilience game after game despite limited rest periods, but maintains it's not an excuse if performances fall short. In anticipation of Liverpool's Carabao Cup third-round clash against Southampton on Tuesday night, Slot penned in his program notes, "In terms of the game itself, we go into it on the back of a victory over our neighbors Everton in the Merseyside derby. That win maintained a start to the season which has definitely been promising, even though we know there is still room for improvement. This victory gave me a great deal of pleasure, not only because it came in a derby, but mainly because it followed a demanding schedule of Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday fixtures. Inevitably, our energy levels weren't the same at the end of such a testing week as they were at the start. I need to stress once again this is not an excuse. Firstly, we do not need one because we won the game, and secondly, it is an explanation worth reiterating given the demands placed on our players. The way they faced up to this challenge showed such a strong collective mentality, and winning such a tough fixture is a huge credit to them. Alexander Isak might be handed a starting berth, with the Swedish forward set to assume a crucial role moving forward as he builds his fitness levels following a disrupted pre-season period. Liverpool's subsequent league encounter takes them to in-form Crystal Palace this Saturday, where Isak is anticipated to feature at Selhurst Park. In 7 days' time, the Reds will again be traveling, this time to Turkey to take on Galatasaray in the Champions League. Over a 16-day stretch in September, Liverpool will have contested 6 matches spanning 3 separate competitions, underlining just how demanding this spell proves for Slot's squad.